welcome to another Happy Pod, the only podcast in the world. My name is Nathan. I am the host of this podcast. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host. No one even cares who he is, so I'm not even going to tell you his name. All we care about is the fact that he tells us what this silly little show is all about. Over to you, nameless bitch.
I've been belittled. I don't know if I like this. But I do have a job to do, and that is to tell people that this is a show where we get together, we talk about all things pop culture. That could be movies, it could be television shows, it could be games, and we try and put a positive spin on it, as there is too much negative Nelly nonsense out there in the world. I am Lawrence. I didn't know what I was going to say there, but I figured I may as well actually introduce myself, because Nathan's being a rude boy.
No one cares.
I did the thing I have to do. Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm insulted now.
Any fun stories that have happened this week, Lawrence? Any fun pre-podcast banter you'd like to share?
Always best introduced as the pre-podcast band.
Yes.
You've put me on the spot, but I'm never a man to shrink to a challenge. I saw Batman in the cinema yesterday. You asked me.
Did you see my tweet?
Yeah, I did. I ignored it.
I know you.
I wanted you to feel my ignoring of it.
You tweeted that like, "Oh, I'm seeing the Dark Knight in 70mm," like some sort of fucking film nerd, and then I just hurled abuse at you on Twitter. Just been like, "Hey, nobody cares, bro."
It was just blunt. Often I see things you tweet about that I'm like, I'm gonna let that one slide. I'm gonna just ignore it.
What do you see me tweet
just
about?
Stuff that other people don't care about.
Give me what is my Twitter?
It's my Twitter.
Yeah, but you're on my feed.
Oh, fuck off.
Tell me what you see.
I don't know. You tweeting nerd shit about Star Wars.
Yeah, I like Star Wars.
Yeah, well, I like Batman in 70mm. All right, it was good. It was a fun theatrical experience that I enjoyed.
Little virgin.
And on Batman Day, Nathan, I wanted to celebrate.
Batman Day's not real.
It's real. It's real to me.
I'm sick of all these bullshit holidays, man.
It's not bullshit. It's fun. Re-release a little movie. I'll go and see it. It's nice.
It's capitalism at work, Lawrence. You're falling. Falling for the mat. You're falling for the studios.
Tweet about it on your new iPhone. Fucking bitch.
Oh, so just because I, am part of society doesn't mean I can't partake in it. Oh.
What are you saying about me?
You're literally that meme that's like, how curious. You critique society, yet you engage in it and have an iPhone. How curious. Right. That's you. That's you, Lawrence.
You're deliberately trying to make me bite, and I won't do it.
You literally just said iPhone.
You're still trying to make me bite, Nathan.
I'm not the one giving money to the studios during the strike.
Oh, fucks.
You're out here scabbing and shilling.
Fuck. I haven't got a comeback. Fuck you is my comeback.
Yeah, well.
Shut up.
You're putting money in David Zaslav's pocket. How do you feel about that?
I'll reconcile it because a considerable chunk goes to the cinemas.
Does
the
it?
Independent.
I don't think it does.
It does?
It does.
Well, how do they fucking make money then?
Concessions.
Just. Only concessions.
Yeah.
Well, then they'd run a fucking sweet shop, wouldn't they?
Do you not know how the cinema industry works? That's literally how they make the bulk of their money. Like, literally 95% of their funds come from concessions.
Whatever, shut up, man. You don't know anything.
No, I do.
Shut up, man. Whatever, fuck you. Hairspray. The pre-podcast banter is over. You've ruined it for everyone now. No one gets to enjoy it.
Well, by being correct.
By trying to... You asked me for a fun story. I regaled you with a little tale, and you immediately shot me down. What have you been up to, since you're so interesting and cool and live on the right side of society?
I bought a new iPhone.
Fuck off. No one else can see this, because this is an audio thing. We're on video call, and he's so impressed with himself. He's laughing. He's smugly little chuckling away.
Oh, it's funny.
Fuck you. Nathan, welcome to 1960s Baltimore. May the 3rd is where we set our scene here today.
Is it?
Yeah, I said it on the paper. I wrote it down. I thought that would be a fun way to intro the podcast.
Well,
but then you got me angry about Batman.
Where is Baltimore?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. America.
Yeah, but there's America's weird because for a lot of reasons. But
yeah, we could just end that there.
Yeah. But they have there'll be like at least 5 different versions, like 5 different towns with the same name in America, like all in different states.
Is that why they say the town and then the state?
Yeah.
That's why they're like Chicago, Illinois, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there'll be a Chicago in like, I don't know, Maine or whatever.
It's terrible. What a fucking... It's too big of a country. Too big of a country that's made it too complicated.
Yeah.
Just be a big country that does it in a way that isn't like, oh, look at me.
America was a mistake. We have progressed beyond the need for America, I think.
You're saying you agree with the British Empire.
No, I'm saying
you think America never should have seized their independence.
we should not most of them. I think America's our second biggest audience though, so we should probably stop this.
We've done it too many times now that I feel like they know that we do this.
Your country is very large, okay?
It's large and we hate you all. Anyway.
That was Lawrence who said that, not me.
Anyway, time for some engagement. Let us know where Baltimore is. Tweet us at Another Happy Pod. Let's get some engagement going on.
I don't know why, but I feel like it's in Washington. Like Baltimore, Washington sounds correct, but I don't know why.
We're going to put an end to this, and I'm going to
We're
find
going to
out.
look it up. Yeah.
I am.
There we go.
Because I feel like we can't get past this until we find out
Yeah. We need to know.
where in
But then again,
America.
it felt very East Coast, and Washington's on the West Coast.
Maryland, USA. I don't know if that's actually... I feel very British
Maryland?
saying Maryland.
Yeah, it's Maryland. Maryland
Yeah.
is where Washington, D.C. is, I think, or nearabouts, if I'm not mistaken. Is that near Virginia?
Maryland is bordered by Pennsylvania in the north, Delaware and the Atlantic Ocean in the east, and the Atlantic Ocean and Virginia in the south.
Virginia, yeah. I think because Washington, D.C. isn't a state, it's a district. It possibly borders Maryland and Virginia.
We're going to break down every single part of Hairspray with this level of,
Yes. Which has absolutely nothing to do with Hairspray at all, by the way.
It's just harebrained nonsense what we're doing
Yes.
right now. Wait, Washington isn't a state?
No, Washington's not a state. Well, no, okay. There is a state called Washington, but it's nothing to do with Washington, D.C., where, you know, the president lives or whatever.
I'm going to bust out a banger here, Nathan. You want to talk about states? The entire country of America is a state.
Right, you said that. Let's be very clear here. You're the one who said that on record.
I'm sure the people are nice. It's just too big and you've overcomplicated it. They get it. They live there.
It is complicated.
Apart from your block travel system, which might be exclusive to New York, but if it isn't...
No, it's there's a lot of towns like that in America. Like most towns are designed like that in America.
Yeah. You've mastered the art of suburban travel, is what I'll say. Or in-city travel.
No.
Go on, let's just discuss America. Well, go on.
Well, I was going to say, what they've done is they've built... Oh, my God.
We're so deep in this rabbit hole.
Why do we do this? Why is our podcast like this? Oh, all right. First of all, let me just say, 20 American listeners who are listening, this is all in jest, okay? This is just a good bit of fun. Just go with us for a minute. But
we've both been to America. We've enjoyed our experiences.
I had a lovely time. But
admittedly, it was 2 presidents ago, and there's been some stuff gone on since.
This is also a little bit like, look, what they've done is they've created a country and a system that is so dependent on the vehicle, so dependent on cars, that everything is like, the streets are all designed around cars. Especially in towns, not so much in cities, but especially in towns, they don't have like walkable streets and stuff like that. And like any like you'll drive down a street in America and everything is just like, you know, when you drive down a street in the UK and it's like, you'll have buildings all like connected to each other on the side and stuff, and you can walk along the street and go in the shops. In America, it's like you'll have like car parks all next to each other with like a building in the middle of the car park, and then next to it there'll be another car park with a building in the middle of the car park, and it's just that.
Oh fuck yeah,
yeah. So
that doesn't sound great. But then look. All right, let's regain some of our... If they haven't all gone,
yes.
To our American listeners, you can laugh and joke that we have a royal family that cost us fucking millions.
We have so many problems of our own. Like,
yeah. We're just as fucked, if not more.
We are plenty fucked as it is. We're like the most fucking transphobic country in the world currently, so there's that.
Yeah, and our government is just a bunch of fucking just scheming liars.
Yeah.
Don't do anything other than be small, Rishi Sunak. Fuck you.
What a strange way to start. We're 10 minutes into this podcast.
Nathan, it was your idea to bring the pre-podcast banter this week.
It was my idea to discuss Hairspray, Lawrence, because I love a musical. We know this about me.
Yeah.
It's long established lore of this podcast that Nathan loves musicals and Lawrence fucking hates them.
This is not last musical. We acknowledge that my arc is changing.
You hate musicals because you hate fun.
Yeah.
So it's my mission to get you to watch as many musicals as possible. So what I first must ask, Lawrence, had you seen this previously?
In the same way that you spoke about the Hunger Games, I'd seen this, but it was very much like, that's about a show. Just missed every single like racial component to this movie.
Oh, so you didn't actually know it was about racism in the civil rights movement and that sort of
No.
stuff.
I mean, I could see what was there, but I was too young to understand what it was saying or what it was about properly.
See, this is one of those movies that, like, I feel like every few years it does the round on like Twitter, on TikTok, and people are like listen to like the nicest kids in town or whatever, and be like, "What? There's some weird stuff in here," and they're like,
"We should cancel this musical."
No, they're like, "Hairspray is about racism," and we're like, "Yeah, that's like the whole point of it."
Do they do that thing where they like intentionally try, like they like TikTok will, like young kids will pick up on like a slur in one of the songs in Hairspray, and they're like, they shouldn't have said this, guys. We need to get on top of this. Not that it's the entire point. Yeah. You chose this. You were adamant to do Hairspray. Is there a reason, or was this just the next musical in your line of musicals you want me to see?
Probably just the next musical I thought of, really.
What's your relationship to it then?
I first saw Hairspray when this movie... Well, actually, like a few years after the movie came out, I first watched it. And I just liked it. It was a fun, groovy time. It had a nice message. It dealt with some issues. And all around, it was just fun time. And there's good music and good stuff in it. So I like it.
Good vibes overall.
Yes.
Did you get as excited when you first saw this, after you finished it? Did you get as excited for Hairspray 2 White Lipstick?
What now?
I was surprised too. So it never came out. It was cancelled whilst in development.
Okay.
But technically, legally, contractually, the entire cast is signed on.
So is this a sequel to the movie, but it's not a musical sequel that exists?
It doesn't exist. It was always going to be a musical movie sequel.
Okay. So it's a
it
Grease
never
2
happened,
situation.
Yeah. And basically, yeah. Basically, I believe the core premise would be Tracy is now famous and dealing with the struggles of her weight against the pressure of fame. I think they just dropped the civil rights movement component of all of it.
Okay.
They were like, it's fine. We actually solved racism in the 60s, so now Tracy's famous and everything's fine.
Okay. Well, it's probably a good thing that didn't make it through development. Really?
Yeah, basically, yeah. But if it ever comes up, the script is written. No one knows what's in it apart from like a basic synopsis and like a plot. But like the script is written and they're all legally fucking supposed to be in it if it ever comes to light.
No, they would have been, but those contracts would be void by now.
Yeah, they would have expired.
Yeah, 100%.
And also, they're all rich enough now to be like, well, no.
Yeah.
Have you met my lawyer? Listen, I wrote down the first thing I wrote down as a balding man, one can only dream of getting written up for inappropriate hair height.
Okay.
There's just something I can't... obviously, I can't...
No thoughts on the opening number, just straight to... just straight to your balding fucking talk.
Good morning, Baltimore, is what I'll say.
Great.
No, it's a good opening number. It sets the pace nicely. I think also it's the amount of times I've said like the mark of a good musical, but like it's really important to get like the leading protagonist right in a musical, and I think her name is what's her
Tracy.
name? Tracy, but the actress that plays Tracy, Nikki something, I think it is Nikki
Minaj.
Very good. Yeah. Oh fuck! What was it down? Nikki Blonsky is her name.
What's she been in?
Do you want to know?
Yeah.
I was going to save this for later. Nikki Blonsky, this movie introduced her. This is her first professional performance.
Yes.
And then her most notable roles since have been a walk-on role in Ugly Betty. And also primarily things that focus on her weight, the standouts being a series called Huge and a movie called Queen Sized.
Well, that's kind of sad.
It really depressed me. I finished this movie and I was like, I'd love to know what she did next. She's got a really remarkable presence, and she's endearing, and I wanted to see more, and I saw that, and I went, oh.
That really fucking sucks. Going from your breakout role being in a movie which celebrates being different and standing out and not looking like everyone else and just in general just not just the most fat phobic piece of shit to just going straight into that's wow. Okay.
It's really depressing. I genuinely, I was going to save that for a bit later on and really crush some spirits, but
you've crushed them to begin with, so thank you for that.
But let's do her justice. Let's celebrate her performance, because the opening number is very much like she's not working with a lot. There's not a lot going on. It's not a typical opening number where there's, you know, fucking confetti cannons, and it quietly introduces itself and doesn't overstate itself. But she's very charming, and she's very walking along the streets. It's fun and it's endearing.
It's a good opening number. Like I say, it sets the stage quite well. It gives us a taste of what's come, but not too much. So, like, there's quite a few surprises along the way and stuff. And yeah, it's just all around a good opener, I think. Just a good classic musical opener. Like, here we go. Here things are. Hello.
And obviously they have to introduce us straight away to Tracy and the primary character, the main lead. But then, like, you do, like, any fanfare that the opening number is missing, while it chooses to be a bit more understated, you get immediately in, like, straight away. Like, she basically goes to school, they rush through the school day, she comes back, and they're like, they end up watching the TV at Tracy's house, and you get the nicest kids in town, which is the real opening number of the thing.
The Corny Collins show with everyone in this movie / musical is named like a comic book superhero.
Yeah.
Tracy Turnblack, Corny Collins, Penny, I think it's Penny Parker, well, Penny something with a P.
Penny Parker is Spider-Man.
Penny Parker is a Spider-Man, yeah.
Wait, no, I guess a Spider-Woman.
a Spider-Person is the term. Everyone just has alliteration names, which is quite funny, to be honest.
It's the 60s. Everyone had silly names.
That was it, yeah. Everyone in the 60s had alliteration names for some reason.
They all had silly names.
There was just a 10-year period where everyone changed their name legally to have alliteration.
It went for that time, and then there was a great purge.
Okay, that got dark.
And everyone... He started afresh with new surnames.
A great culling after that.
All the alliteration names.
Oh no, I don't like that. But yes, the Corny Collins show introduces us to the nicest kids in town. This is a great little number. A lot of fun.
This is a very good number.
A lot of dancing about, singing.
James Marsden, man.
He's good, isn't he?
He's so good.
He's good. He's a good Corny Collins.
Oh, I haven't seen the Sonic movies. I hear they're good, and I hear he's good in them.
I've watched like half of the first one because I fell asleep during it.
A fucking glowing endorsement.
But that's more of a comment on me than the movie. Just because I'm napping all the time. I'm old, man. I'm napping whenever I can.
You are napping. You love a nap.
I do. I love a nap. I'll get one whenever I can. But what I watched was fine. Like,
but like, he's talented, man. He's got it. He's got the full package. He can act, sing, and dance. He's a triple threat.
I mostly think of him as Cyclops. But that's such a nothing role for him, though, isn't it? It's such a don't look at my girl, Logan.
Yeah, that he exists to be like the most blunt edge of a fucking love triangle.
Like, look at my weird glasses, but don't look at my girl. All right.
And that's another thing. You put James Marsden in a role that should be charming and charismatic in Cyclops, and they just make him a jealous loser. You can't see his eyes. All of his charm is gone.
He also gets done very dirty in The Notebook as well.
Oh, I forget he's in The Notebook.
Yeah, everyone forgets he's in The Notebook. Yeah, he gets done quite dirty in that movie. He's just like a nice guy, but because he's not Ryan Gosling, it's like, no, fuck you.
Ryan Gosling's like, you're really gonna marry that fucking loser?
Yeah,
he's like, he's calm. He's nice.
A nice guy. Yeah, he treats her well.
I respect him. He's fine. But yeah. Yeah, just some great performance from him. I love to see him. Do you know what? you can't not like this movie. It's infectious.
It is very infectious.
And it's like if everyone's doing a little leg wiggle, and you're on the sofa, you're doing a little leg wiggle, you're tapping your foot around to the beat of the song. You were doing it.
Yeah, it's true.
Tell me you weren't.
It's true. It's great. There's some great funny lines in the Nicest Kids in Town song as well. You'll never get to college, but you'll sure look cool. It's quite funny. And then there's the one which always catches me off guard. Just nice white kids who like to lead the way, and once a month I'm not going to say it, but you know what it is. And once a month we have our day. Just always catches me off guard, that line. Just the straight, just the way the music just cuts out. It's just it's
just like this is something we're doing.
It's the 60s.
yeah, basically. And I'm glad you arrived at that before me. I was like, where do we stand on the artistic license of being able to repeat a movie quote these days? I don't know.
I think let's just not.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing it.
I don't want to say it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think let's just not, okay?
I was going to say this a bit later on, but I've got a note that says like how this movie, like, because it is open in having to say words that aren't openly accepted and shouldn't be said.
By certain people.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And the movie tackles it in a really interesting way, but not like the usual Hollywood way. I think there are some ways of doing it where, like, I understand that, like, directors want to tell a faithful retelling of something, and also sometimes want to just get across the sheer vitriol that was expressed by, like, white people.
Yeah.
Right? And sometimes the bluntest and most attention-grabbing way is to have them say such slurs on screen.
Yeah.
And they're deliberately intended to be shocking. And then there's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Who was like, oh my God, I get to do... He was like, what year is this set in? Oh my God, I get to do the thing. I get to do the thing.
And I get to say it myself because I'm going to play this part.
Yeah, and right.
He's
and
never done that for the record. He's never written a part for himself where he gets to say it. But it feels like the kind of thing he'd do, though.
It definitely... I mean, he writes himself into suck feet all the time and shit. So, like, fucking... He loves the N-word and feet, does he, Quentin Tarantino?
He does.
But, like, the way I think this movie skirts around that is it's in real, like... It's communicated in such a subtle way. Like the prejudice is communicated clearly. Like, there's the... It's not unspoken, but there's like the line separating the two dances at the school. There's how whenever Tracy goes to detention, it's only ever the black kids that are in detention. Just little things like that I think are really, really clever. But yeah, the movie doesn't pull punches, but it's also not, it doesn't outstay its need to offend.
No.
Because it's a feel-good movie.
Yeah, it is, but it's also got, like, it's a feel-good movie, but it's also talking about, like, some real issues as well, though. I think like the funniest, the best thing and the way it kind of handles it is just like anyone who's, you know, just like racist and ignorant, they're not necessarily portrayed as downright evil, although some of them are. It's more just ignorance and stupidity. Yeah, basically,
and stuck in their way.
Yeah. They're more made fun of than like vilified.
Yeah, they're portrayed as out of touch losers.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is how they should be. Yeah,
exactly.
And also, like, some of them are shown to be some of them are shown to be incredibly hypocritical. Like the TV owner, or like the guy that is like the main sponsor head or something of the Hairspray that runs the Corny Collins show.
He has a very funny line, like when Tracy first starts being on the Corny Collins show, and he's like not happy with it. He's like, "Get that chubby communist off my show."
I wrote down that line exactly. Best line of the movie. I want that chubby communist girl off the show. Followed shortly by, I think, the second best line of the whole show, where he says, "How are you going to fire Corny Collins from the Corny Collins show?" And she responds, "They do it all the time in Lassie."
It's true.
If you don't know, the show about a dog.
That's very funny. This movie has some just great, hilarious one-liners. Another one I like is when they're putting out... Well, first of all, there's a girl who's leaving the Corny Collins show. She's taking a break. And then, like, "How long are you leaving us for?" And she's like, "Oh, not long, just 9 months, which in itself is hilarious. But then they have Zac Efron put out the ad for the show. He says, "Hey, do you want to be one of the nicest kids in town? Cut school tomorrow and come down to the studio." Just the blasé way he just says cut school and come to the studio. It kills me every time. It's very funny.
It's well written, and there's good performances in it. To like, a lot of the jokes are just stuff that people do and say.
Yeah, exactly.
They're never played as jokes. They catch you off guard, and you go, "Oh, hang on, what the fuck?"
Yeah.
One thing I couldn't remember if I liked it or not, and I was a bit apprehensive about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is the casting of John Travolta.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I didn't like. Also, different time watching it now and today as it was 2007 when it came out.
Yeah.
And then also in that there is also the consideration that the movie is telling a story about like the acceptance of others.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So I wasn't certain if I was going to be keen on John Travolta playing a woman whilst in a fat suit. Yeah. That was my main draw. I read into it a little bit, and I saw that he'd spoken a lot about it, and it's a homage to the role originator on Broadway of Hairspray. Is it Edna, the character of Edna?
Yeah.
Yeah, the character of Edna was played first time ever by a drag queen.
Yeah.
And also, at first it is a little bit, it feels a little bit stereotypical, but as the movie progresses, you can really see that he is earnestly trying to play a woman.
I like the performance. I think the performance is good. It's strange because it's wrapped up in a bit of a problematic bundle.
It is, yeah. It's well intentioned, I think.
You see, the thing is, Edna is a character who is always played by a man. Though, like the character is that's like the traditional thing. And I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like probably in more modern productions, you probably would go for like a more drag queen version of Edna. I feel like that's the thing to do these days. Yeah. That would seem like the right choice to me to make anyway. That seems like a win-win scenario for everyone, really. So the fact that a drag queen originated it, yeah, fucking do that. That sounds sick. But yeah, just a man earnestly playing a woman. It's a little, I don't know, but it is a good performance though from John Travolta, which is not something you can say very often. So
no, it's true, yeah. Especially with his friend Quentin Tarantino, who loves the N-word. You're right. The problematic bundle, well-intentioned in a problematic bundle, is kind of where I find peace with it. Yeah, it's like it's unusual, but I do truthfully think that because 2016 is when trans people started existing, right? That's widely accepted as truth.
They never existed before that. Yeah.
No, yeah, and as everyone knows, yeah,
they weren't invented yet. Yeah.
But I don't know. I think like in a different time, he is earnestly trying to be genuine and respect a role's origins whilst also doing it justice, and not. He does ham it up, but in a way that is like intentional for this, larger than life performance and musical.
It's also quite a cheesy musical as well. Like the whole thing is supposed to be quite very cheesy in 60s and stuff. So yeah, it does make sense. There's also something to be said about the fact that you just have, what's his name? John? What was
John
his name?
Travolta?
John Travolta just earnestly loving Christopher Walken as well.
Yeah, it's great. And Christopher Walken's performance back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's genuinely, and that's what I'm saying, it's realised in truth. It's a loving relationship that feels real.
Yeah. And
yeah, John Travolta gives a performance. Christopher Walken always gives a fun, at the very least it's fun, his performance.
that is true. Yes.
All right, yeah, but I just wanted to address that because I will never apologize for being too progressive.
Here's something. When I was in college, I didn't do a full production of Hairspray, but I was involved in this thing which was like sort of like a musical medley is the best way to describe it, where we do like different scenes from musicals and stuff like that. And one of them was You Can't Stop the Beat, Hairspray, which I was involved with.
As every theatre kid knows and has performed at least once.
Of course. Just take a wild guess. Which part would you think I played in that?
Wait, you can't stop the beat.
Yeah.
What is it, Edna?
Yes, it is.
And how did you feel stepping into such a role?
I was honoured, personally. I had a great time doing it. It was a lot of fun.
No, I mean, I would have been Link. I'd have been called Sexy Link.
No, you wouldn't.
It's true, I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be Link. He's a performative activist.
No, he's...
He turns the tide, he does.
Yeah, he's got a heart of gold. He gets a little confused sometimes.
It's true, yeah.
Zac Efron. This was peak High School Musical time. I think it was in between High School Musical movies. So he was obviously not afraid of being typecast at the time.
No, not at all. Since very much so.
Yeah, doesn't want to touch it with a barge pole now. But
didn't he do one of them Netflix things where he's like, I'm the serial killer that people are interested in this month?
Oh, really?
I think he did one of them, yeah. Ted Bundy. He was Ted Bundy.
He was Ted Bundy?
He did do a Ted Bundy, yeah.
I thought Evan Peters was Ted Bundy.
No, he was the slicked big glasses, blonde hair creep.
They all look like that.
I mean, yeah, it's true, yeah, but they...
Stop casting incredibly hot actors to play these fucking weird serial killers, man.
It's my least favourite thing that Netflix do when they're like, look how sexy this serial killer. Don't you want to make a fan cam about it? And I'm like,
no.
People died, real people died, their families are still alive. This is extremely gross.
Thirst over fictional serial killers all you want. Thirst over Kylo Ren all day long. I do it too. It's great. But, like, don't be thirsting over fucking Ted
fictional
Bundy.
Serial killers. You went for Kylo Ren.
He's the first one that... He's Adam Driver, man. He's always on my mind.
It's true, yeah.
Don't be thirsting over Ted Bundy, man. Come on. Go to therapy instead.
Yeah. That sounds healthier, for sure. Look, so this was 2007, same year of High School Musical 2 release.
Oh.
So I have to assume he was filming these at the same time.
Wow.
Saying that, this would have been longer in post.
I feel like High School Musical 2 would have had a considerably shorter production and budget than
it's true, yeah. Well, the third one went to cinema, you know.
Yeah, but not the second one. The second one was still a Disney Channel original.
I think the second one was they realised what they had and they went, oh shit.
It was still in 4:3.
Oh my god, it was.
Yeah.
Fuck. What do you make of Zac Efron in this then?
I think he's good. I think
he brings that sauce, man.
I like Zac Efron as an actor. I think I do think he's a good actor. He's very comedic. He has great comedic timing. And he's quite funny in this. He knows what he is, really. He's not like, he doesn't think of himself as necessarily bigger than the part calls for. He knows he's just essentially a bit of a himbo who thinks he's cooler than he is. And there's a great moment where he goes to detention with Tracy and he sees like the black kids dancing and everything like that, and he starts to get involved. He's like, yeah, I'll dance too. And they're like, what are you doing, white boy? Like, he thinks he can just slip in and be cool with them, but it's like, you're not cool, man. You're not as cool as you think you are.
You're cool amongst the white kids.
Yeah, you're white cool. That doesn't translate, man.
I don't know. There is something about, I wrote down that Lady's Choice and Bet on It were released in the same year.
Two great songs.
Two fucking test of time standing bangers.
Two powerhouses of songs, really. It's amazing that Bet on It is as good as it is, considering where it came from, really.
Yeah, it's wild, but also, and this is what you're saying about, like, he doesn't go over what the role calls for. He's not trying to, like, Zac Efron. Bear in mind, one of his first things he did was High School Musical, where he's the main character.
Yeah, leading man.
Yeah, he could have easily tried to overshadow people in this, but he knows his place. He steps back. He realizes he has a primary functional role for the protagonist, but he's a supporting character.
Yeah, 100%.
And I love that the duality of his performance, that he can literally run around a golf field.
Yeah.
Right. And like fucking rip up tarmac and shit. Not tarmac, but he can rip up like fucking AstroTurf.
Yeah. And
like splash water. But then also to this, do a bit of dancing in the background and then let it be.
We always... I was having flashbacks to uni. Parties whenever Bet on It came on. that was it, man.
I still know all the words. And the best part is...
Who doesn't?
Like, yeah, exactly. And the best part... That song is made for harmonising.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't sing that song without someone doing the backup Zac Efron vocals.
Yeah.
And yeah, when you find your soulmate, as I had with Nathan, right, then you just know that you have that in you and you can bust out that performance. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I just think 2007, he was working with someone different, man. He was a cut above. He had the sauce.
Yeah, it's true.
It has to be said.
He needs to go back to doing more fun and weird musicals like this, I reckon.
Yeah.
Go back. Do that High School Musical reunion, you coward.
He's fucking absolutely enormous now, isn't he, though? He's a brick shithouse now.
Isn't that for a role? Like, I saw him, and he was like he looked unwell, but isn't it for a role, though?
I know that he had a kind of a show where he it's actually a really, really interesting show. He it was basically just like going around the world with Zac Efron and him like experiencing some cultures and stuff.
Yeah. And
he had just like a chicken dinner and it brought him to tears and he's like, I haven't eaten like shit in like 8 years.
My God.
But because the last thing you remember he was in the movie Baywatch?
Yeah.
And the fucking physique he had to maintain for that.
Yeah.
It's such an unhealthy lifestyle, not to mention you're just injecting every spare vein you have.
Yeah.
So it's fucking, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it probably was for a role when he was massive, but hard to say. Either way, good lad in this.
Good lad in this. Yeah. Look after yourself more, Zach.
Yeah, please. And come back. Come do some fun stuff. It's really well made. I like, in terms of, I feel like it doesn't stick to things. Like it is very, very free flowing with like how the musical operates. Like there'll be some musical sequences that don't follow like a linear structure, and there'll be other ones that follow literally a couple walking around the building.
Yeah,
like it never breaks any immersion. It never feels like a structure has been changed.
Yeah,
it just always feels natural, and I think performances carry it through that. But like, the main one I really, really liked was I don't know what the song's called. I'd imagine it's called I Can Hear the Bells.
Okay, yeah.
But just that, how like it clearly communicates the whole day of school, because they need to show a whole day of school passing for them to get to the next episode of the Corny Collins show.
Yeah.
But it clearly communicates that she's just been she had one interaction with Link and she's been daydreaming about it all day.
Yeah. And
you show her getting hit with a dodgeball and stuff. It's fun. It's all a bit of in silly jest.
Yeah, 100%. We have Amanda Bynes playing Tracy's friend Penny. Amanda Bynes is someone who truly just fucking breaks my heart as a person, because like she was like a Nickelodeon kid. Like she had her own show on Nickelodeon, the Amanda Bynes Show, which was great. It was kind of like SNL for kids, and I used to love it quite a lot.
We've all done a hair.
Yeah, exactly. It was great. There was so many funny sketches like that, and that's where like Josh Peck and Drake Bell originated from and stuff like that. It was all on that. And Amanda Bynes is great, but like every now and then you'll just see a story in the news, and it's like Amanda Bynes found naked walking the streets of Los Angeles off her mind on drugs and everything like that, and it's.
And to clarify, we're in no way vilifying her.
No, it's not her. It's not her fault whatsoever. She's had just a horrible fucking lot of horrible shit.
I was just this morning. I was literally watching a little interview. I think her name is Alexa Nichols.
Okay.
I may be pronouncing that wrong. She was a girl that was on Zoe 101, again led by that ghastly fucking paedophile Dan Schneider, and again Nickelodeon executives that were without a doubt enabling his terrible behavior.
100%.
And it's just like they're consistently and historically their concern for child safety is laughable.
Yeah.
And it sucks, because I wrote down as well, Amanda Bynes is really, really good in this. She's
amazing. She's great.
Yeah, but the thing is, she does a lot with a little. Like Zac Efron, she's not afforded a lot of opportunity, but like just like little micro expressions on her face, the shock in her eyes when Seaweed kisses her, like it's all little subtle acting choices that.
I mean, someone says the line, when she's like with Seaweed, and someone says to her, "Oh, you got a whole lot of ugly coming at you from a lot of stupid," and she just goes, "Oh, so you've met my mum."
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. She's brilliant. She's really good in it. But oh man, yeah. A lot of it, like, it's quite funny. A lot of her role is like basically fainting because she's simply too horny. Like but like she's a likable character. She's fun.
She is,
Yeah. You're right though. That it is sad. Like a lot of the career trajectories in this, the four people we've spoken about so far, have immeasurable amounts of talent and have just seemingly like been overlooked or had it wasted.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Maybe this is sad.
Oh, no. Do you have a favorite song?
I've got 3 favorite songs.
Okay, so no then.
Which I know, yes, it doesn't answer your question. But I knew we do this with musicals. I always write down my favorite songs, and I wrote down 3. Can I
tell you my favorite song first of all?
Please.
Okay, so my favorite song is "Run and Tell That."
Okay, yeah.
My second favorite song is "New Girl in Town."
Okay, yeah, not one of my favorites, but that's fine.
My third favorite song is "Without Love."
You have 2 for 3 on me.
Okay.
So I enjoy Run and Tell That. I enjoy Without Love.
Yes.
And the other one I like is Queen Latifah, I Know Where I've Been.
Yeah, that's very good.
It's obviously right. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite. It's not the one I'd put on. Like, I love Hairspray. Listen to this. Grab me the aux and put this one on.
Yeah,
because it's just a big bummer.
Yeah, it's just it's a mood changer, really. Yeah.
Oh, and it does tonally. This movie walks a fucking tightrope, and it does it really, really well. I do like that moment where it just instantly becomes more serious, but they never lose their goofiness.
Yeah.
There's that joke about like she taps a police officer with a fucking picket sign.
Yeah.
And then like you hear about it, it's like brutally attacked with a blunt instrument, and then on the news later on, it's like he's in hospital succumbing to his wounds.
And then Link goes to her house and he says to her, "No, I can't believe she attacked an Eagle Scout."
That's the thing, and again, it just goes back to that comedy aspect of it. Like they're all just throwaway gags.
Yeah.
Like if you're not quick enough, you won't catch them, but they're so rewarding when you suddenly go, "Hang on, what the fuck? What's that silliness?"
Yeah.
But yeah, favorite. Those are my favorite songs. I don't think there's a bad song here.
No, not necessarily. No, there's some I probably would just skip over when I'm listening to the soundtrack, but that's more just like in terms of vibes and mood, really, than anything else. I like New Girl in Town because I like the way it starts with like the 3 white girls, and it's not that great and stuff, and it's like okay, it's got a nice rhythm and stuff, and then they switch it over to the black performers, and it's just instantly so much better, and just such a better and just more interesting song,
better vocal range,
more interesting vocal arrangement and that type of stuff, and it's just so much better. And the fact that like Michelle Pfeiffer's character was like, "I can't believe you're using that song," and Queen Latifah was like, "They wrote it, it's their song." Like,
that's another thing as well. Like there isn't a bad song, but there's like they all work. Even if they're not your favorite, they work within the confines of what the movie's doing. Yeah. Like a good example of one that I'm not putting on ever just to listen to casually, but works really, really brilliantly in the musical, and how the music styles really reflect the character. Yeah. Like you say, like when like Queen Latifah and the black performers take over the song, it becomes so much more less regimented. It feels like
100%.
There's people actually putting emotion into the performance rather than just hitting the beats. That's also reflected in Michelle Pfeiffer. She's got her character's very stuck in the past. She keeps bringing up she won this thing years ago.
She's got some awful lines, like some horribly racist lines, man. Like,
some lines that, I'll be honest, I'm surprised they let Michelle Pfeiffer say.
There's one of them that's like, doesn't she say we have to like teach kids the white way or something like that? Like we have to keep kids on the white track. She says something like that.
And then Corny Collins is like right track, and she's like, "That's what I said."
Ugh.
Yeah, it's
horrible.
It's gross. But like her character, and they communicate she's like stuck in her ways. And obviously it's the 60s, but she's past her glory days now. It's all about trying to promote her daughter to essentially be the new her.
Yeah.
And the one thing I really like is that when she does her song, her first vocal performance in the yeah, it's shit. And it's also like the music style is stuck in like 40s and 50s elegant.
Yeah.
And it's very elegant. It's very violins and very like it feels like a jazz club performance from a bygone era. And it's like it's so well communicated because like everyone else is having fun, man, jiving around, doing some little leg moves and twists and turns and all sorts, and she's just walking around acting like the most fucking bored performer on the stage.
Yeah.
I just think it's really, really well communicated. God, you're really getting me to like musicals, man.
They're good. Musicals are great.
Yeah, it is good. What else we got here? I feel like we're all over the place.
I just, one thing that's always drawn me to this musical is, like I say, the way it celebrates what's not necessarily the perceived norm, basically. Like it's a movie like where if you look a little bit different than other people, if you have a hard time with it, it's like there's a place for you. You don't have to hide away and live a life. You're welcome in this world, and you have a place, and you can get up and dance with everyone else. There's no reason why you can't. It's just nice. It's nice to have that message and to see something positive for a change. It's very sweet. I like it.
It walks like a fine line, and it walks it really well because like there's a world where like people might have been against the character of Tracy Turnblad, like being vilified for your weight is not the same as being vilified for the color of your skin.
Yeah.
But like it's such a celebration of, like you say, anything outside of the perceived norm.
But you see, the thing about Tracy Turnblad is there's not a single second in this movie where she has a racist opinion or considers any kind of negative opinion towards black people. Like from the fucking get-go, she is on their side through and through. Like, was it Michelle Pfeiffer that asked her, like, would you swim in an integrated pool or whatever? And she's like, yeah, it's cool. Why not? Like, yeah. Cool.
She's like, if they let me, that sounds great.
Yeah, that's cool. She goes to detention, and it's like full of black kids. I feel like most white people in that school be like, ooh, I don't know about this. I don't know if this is the place for me. But she's like, fuck yeah, this is cool, man. We're dancing, we're having a great time and stuff. Another just funny line from Zac Efron is when he goes to detention as well, and Seaweed invites them back to a party, and he's like, is it safe for people like us?
That happens again with like Amanda Bynes or something, and she's like, we have a right to be here, and Queen Latifah's like yeah, we're more likely to be in trouble walking down your road. Darling. Like, calm down. Yeah. You're fine. But yeah, again, it addresses like what all of these. I mean, it's no coincidence that the two people that say that have like the mentor figure we see for Zac Efron is Michelle Pfeiffer, and we see Amanda Bynes' on-screen mum. Yeah, and like they're just snooty, stuck in their ways, old white women. Yeah, that like have their opinions and they're outdated, and I like that. Like the less,
but outdated in different ways though. Like Michelle Pfeiffer and John. Sounds weird. Michelle Pfeiffer and John Travolta. Yes, both kind of have outdated ideas, but one very much like outdated because she's a horrible racist, and the other outdated because she's been inside the house for like 10 years or whatever, and is just like let time pass her by, essentially. Yeah.
That was a sequence when she goes outside, and I
welcome
to
the 60s.
That whole set piece. Yeah. That was the moment that John Travolta won me over, and I was like, God damn it, fuck.
I like the way he says iron. Yeah. I left my iron on.
What the fuck is the accent that he's doing?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I left my iron on.
It's for Tracy Turnblad. It's like Kermit the Frog.
I was going to say, you sounded like Kermit.
You get your ass right home now, Tracy Turnblad.
Sorry, I don't mind.
I left the iron on.
Oh, Tracy. Hello.
But like and like other there's the lovely line from what's his name, Christopher Walken, that's it,
Yeah.
Where he says like the saying of like old dogs need to learn new tricks, and he's like, we're old, you usher in the new era.
Yeah, I like this scene where Michelle Pfeiffer's trying to like seduce Christopher Walken or whatever, and just getting absolutely nowhere with it, just because he's just so interested in showing her his little jokes, and his little prank things and everything.
There's a moment where she says something very suggestive, and the camera just cuts to him, and I obviously, because the framing is really nice in this movie otherwise, but there's just a really awkward frame where he's like, it's not quite a mid shot, it's not quite a close up. But it's awkward. He's not really moving that much, and he's like an awkward center frame, and he's just got a silly red wig on and some glasses, and it's just really funny. Like we've all done that, right? Where like someone's been talking, and we've quickly put on a silly thing, so that when they turn around, we're wearing something silly or something. And that's such a funny thing to capture in that awkwardness. But
It's very good. Yeah,
it is very, very funny. I wrote down at the end, don't redeem Amber at the end. She's a gross racist. I don't want her to change. I don't want her to have a change of heart because, in her words, she lost.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think the movie did it. I think it was more of a setup for Michelle Pfeiffer to be on camera cheating.
Yeah. No, I don't think it ever did do it.
Yeah, there was a point where I was worried, and I was like, no, she's racist.
No.
Don't redeem her.
It didn't. No. Yeah. The whole you can't stop the beat sequence is just it's just a great moment of victory. It's a great moment for all the stories and the cards to align and stuff, and to come together and to just have this great fuck you racists. We're going to integrate. We're going to dance together. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be fun. Like I say, it's a big celebration of being who you are and not apologizing for that. And it's great,
and
really.
I like that progressive man Corny Collins as well just takes the opportunity. Like Tracy arrives and like a known wanted felon, and he's like Tracy's on the show, let's go. And then the Seaweed's sister
Anila Stubbs.
Yeah, and she's not even, obviously she's black, and she wasn't ever a candidate to win the thing.
Yeah,
and he's like, amazing, come on up and let's dance. And then and then Michelle Pfeiffer's like, actually, it can't be that. That's not the rule. And he's like, you want the rules? I'll give you the fucking rule book. Here's the paragraph. Look it up. I'm progressive.
He is progressive, to be fair, though. Like, throughout the whole thing, he's all for. He seems to be anyway, all for like integration. He has, Queen Latifah's character on her show and stuff. He's playing, Detroit music and Motown rhythm and blues and that sort of stuff. He loves it all. So yeah, he's quite happy for them to become one and stuff.
I think he's got a position where he's like a handsome, charming white guy who's talented and can sing and dance, and he's like, he feels like the only person in the room a lot of the time that's like, I just like the music, man. Like, there's a lot of times where like people are getting shoved and stuff in the background, and he's just, you can tell he keeps up his I'm on air live persona. Yeah, but he's very much like, these kids are fucking morons. I like Tracy at the end.
I love the moments throughout, like the Miss Hairspray sequence where whenever Amber's talking or singing or dancing and it cuts to him, he just has like a roll of his eyes. You can just tell he's so fucking done with her and stuff.
And he says another little just rolling joke where he's like, wow, fucking the votes are coming in and it's never been such a neck and neck fucking thing, and the camera cuts and it's just so obviously Amber is clearly winning by like a large margin, and he's like, it's never been more neck and neck.
Yeah. And like when he was gonna read out that it's her that's won, what he says is like, it's my obligation or my duty or something.
My obligation. Yeah. He's good. And that's another thing, right? Fucking James Marsden just bringing this, like, makes a whole character out of a side character.
Yeah.
Really a supporting actor that doesn't have a lot of scenes outside of being his showman figure.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff. Really fun. I like Tracy at the end. It's like, it's on the nose and it's obviously cheesy, but like her coming down in like a checkerboard dress.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the symbols of white and black standing together.
Yeah.
And then like the 60s hair, like, which is, they've mostly had like kind of like late 50s hair up in the whole thing, and then like she's got the 60s hair with the down and the streak in it and stuff, and it's very like ushering in the future,
bringing in the new age and stuff.
Yeah, and it's really, really cool. It's cheesy, but like I'll be damned if I didn't have a big grin.
It's
when
great.
It was happening. Yeah,
it's a great moment. Yeah. Love
and I'm just so happy
stuff.
that she went on and had such a successful career. Fuck you, Hollywood.
That's so depressing.
It's really fucking upsetting, honestly, dude.
It really is. Yeah. I love the moment, like during Edna's section of that You Can't Stop the Beat, there's a moment where it cuts to Christopher Walken and he's just got his hand on his heart whilst he's watching her sing and dance, which is very funny and sweet.
It's never played for a laugh, is it? Like it's treated as 100% genuine.
It's not. Yeah, no. Surprisingly, it's not like ha 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 man in a dress.
Yeah,
it's just the character happens to be played by a man, but it's not like, oh, this is clearly a man. Isn't that funny? It's just no. The character is a woman.
And mate, I can't begin to tell you how confusing it is because John Travolta even plays it as ha ha ha. I'm a man.
Yeah.
And like, there's an element of that, like, when he gets... He toes this fucking bizarre line, I know I keep saying it, but, like, it's when Michelle Pfeiffer says, you'll certainly stop traffic, because she's in a big, like, pinkish dress.
Yeah.
And just, like, the 1-2 punch of, like, just... It's like a close-up, and there's such sadness in John Travolta's eyes hearing that as the character. But then it cuts to, like, a wide shot, and like she's eating cake and she's going like, I'm taking the dress back, and it's very hammy and over the top.
Yeah.
And it's like, this feels like you're making fun of it, but I feel genuinely sorry for this character. Like I don't I don't know. You confuse me, John Travolta. You're an enigma.
He is. He's like, I feel like he will do anything. Really.
It's a Nick Cage type.
Yeah, he'll play a man. He'll play Tracy Turnblatt's mum, and then he'll play Miley Cyrus's dog, who thinks he's real or whatever, and then he'll play. Do you remember that? You seen Bolt?
No.
Have you not seen Bolt?
I've never. What is that? I thought you were just spitballing.
No, we need to do Bolt on the podcast. You've never seen Bolt?
No. So the animated dog movie.
It's an animated movie. Yeah. The premise is Miley Cyrus, and John Travolta is the dog, okay? But the dog is a star of a TV show, okay? Yeah. And they film the TV show so that the dog thinks it's real. The dog thinks that he is actually like a super dog, and he's a star of a TV show. He doesn't know he's on a TV show, basically.
I see. Like Woody. No, not like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, kind of, but like the show is filmed, like they have to do everything in one take because they don't want the dog to know he's an actor.
That's such a weird concept.
But it's surprisingly good. Yeah.
I'm down to do it. That sounds fun.
We should do Bolt, yeah.
Go through an enigma of John Travolta movies. Like or like a series of all the ones where he's like inexplicably talented, but in a way that no one should ever be good at that.
I like Grease.
I do like Grease. I don't like that he's like 30 and the message of Grease is change yourself for a man.
Yeah, no one likes that, but it's we just accept it.
And there's a guy that's like, oh man, I can't believe I got detention, and he's like 50 years old. Yes. He has a receding hairline and like 5 o'clock shadow, and he's like, oh man, my teacher's giving me a detention again.
Yeah, Grease was wild for that.
And then they get together and they're like, did you exploit that woman? And he's like, I didn't. And they're like, you're a fucking loser. You should be cool like us and exploit women. Grease is fucking horrible.
Grease is so fun. Grease should not be done in high schools, but it is, and it was done in mine. But it should not be performed in schools at all. But it's good though. You can't help but like it.
I was the butler in Bugsy Malone. I had one line.
I was Doody in Grease.
Okay, right.
Yeah. I never did Bugsy Malone. I should have though. I would have played Fat Sam.
Oh, and his titular grand slam.
Yeah, Fat Sam's grand slam.
Speakeasy.
What was that one I always loved from Bugsy Malone? We could have been anything that we wanted to be.
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, that was always good.
They were good ones, to be fair. One day we should do that. We should watch all the movie adaptations of musicals we did in school. That'll be our next series that we do.
I do want to do Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and I feel like every school has done Joseph. It's like a requirement for like every primary school to do Joseph at one point.
I don't think I maybe I did. I don't have any recollection of it. The earliest memory I have of acknowledging Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat was the X Factor winner being cast as Joseph.
Joe McElderry.
Yeah, my cousin once called him Joe McElderlyberry, and I've never not laughed at that since. It's not even funny, but it's very funny to me.
Joseph is good. We should do Joseph. It's very short though. It's like an hour long.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's like a one-act musical. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's quite short. We should do Joseph. We should do Grease. We should do Bolt.
Hey, did you exploit that woman yet? No.
What do you mean you didn't sexually assault her? Bull.
Oh man, I'm in a flying car and I'm trying to get this girl in here.
The 70s.
Terrible messaging going on there.
Yeah.
Every now and again I think about how Vanessa Hudgens did Grease once. She did a live performance of Grease, and the one night the one night it was being filmed for the TV's release of the live performance, as they've done. You know, they did with Hamilton, they did it with Heathers, they did it with a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
The night, and it couldn't be changed. The night, and 5 minutes before she was due to go on stage, the night it was being televised or being filmed for television, she got news that her dad died.
Ooh.
It was rough as hell, and she's spoken about it since, but she went on stage, and like her performance is like critically acclaimed. Apparently she's incredible.
Really?
Apparently she's fucking phenomenal in it. Yeah, I don't know who she plays. I think it might be I don't know if the character's name is it Rizzo?
Yeah, she makes sense as a Rizzo.
Both Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron need to make their big returns.
I was just thinking, speaking of Vanessa Hudgens, we should do High School Musical. We have to beat Caravan of Garbage to the pot.
It's gay. It's gay as fuck.
It's very gay.
They're swapping clothes,
They
man.
are. They sing a whole number where they're like, "I don't dance," which is just a metaphor for having sex with each other.
I don't have sex with men. I know you can. Not a chance.
And then the next scene, they're in each other's outfit. Like, come on, man.
And then in the third movie, when everyone's getting their like happily ever after shots, it's the two obviously gay characters. They're like, we're now in love together as man and woman should be.
That is the stupidest decision. They've
retconned it. Ryan's gay.
They have retconned it since there was a reunion and he has a boyfriend or something. But the character, which is obviously a gay man and a lesbian woman, they went, yes, these two are a couple.
They're now in love because we put them together.
That would kind of make sense for high school anyway. The two closeted characters who are obviously gay. Like, yeah, sure, we're together. We're in a relationship. Look, we're straight just like you guys.
They go to graduation. They're like, we're both each other's beards, right? We know this. You know that's what's going on here. Anyway, a lovely, lovely musical. I had a very, very good time.
Me too.
What are we doing next week?
No, because we're doing recommendations first, Lawrence.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about my own thing.
This is the segment of the show where once we finish the main segment, we do another little segment where we talk about something we've watched, read, cooked, it's anything at this point. It's whatever, all right?
It can be whatever, though. That's
can
fun.
be whatever. It's just a fun little recommendation. Why did we start doing this? Who knows? But it's here now. Lawrence, what's your recommendation for this week?
My recommendation this week is a fun game available on PC and console called House Flipper.
House Flipper. Are you a real estate agent?
So you play as you play as essentially a character that can basically buy and flip and sell houses, but there's certain like little windows that pop up with characters that they can list their demands, like, and they're always fucking insane demands.
Yeah.
Like one guy's like, I would like to have, this is genuine by the way, this isn't me just riffing nonsense, this is a thing that is said. One guy is like, I want to have 2 baths so I can have a hot and cold bath at the same time. And you have to build that shit for him. But what I like about it is it's very much like, it's not like how you build stuff in The Sims where like you press the wall button and then just spam walls.
Yeah.
It's like you go in and like if you want to bust down a wall, you have to like swap your tool manually to be like a fucking hammer, like a sledgehammer, and you have to physically knock down that wall as if you were like if anyone's played Fortnite, it's like the level of like effort you have to put into hitting a wall to get it to break, and you have to do that for every wall in the house and everything like that.
Right. Okay.
Look, I don't play this game unless you are like happy to waste hours of your life.
Oh, I am.
It's very much a game just to put on, de-stress, maybe listen to a podcast, maybe listen to this podcast, and have a good time just building some houses, painting some panels of wood, and you can get...
Is that on PlayStation?
Yeah. That's how we've got it.
Is it free on PlayStation?
No, but it's not too much. I think it's like £7. Anyway, yeah, House Flipper. Fun on console. You can buy DLCs with it. You can buy DLCs so that then you can start up doing the garden. You can get like the luxury DLC, which is then you can start like redesigning mansions and stuff. It's fun. It's nonsensical, and it's a very simple game, and it's dumb, but it's just a good way to kill some time and kind of decompress for the evening.
Interesting. What about? I think that's the first recommendation of yours that I'm actually mildly interested in.
I genuinely think you'd have a wicked time on it.
I might do.
We played the whole of Lake that you suggested.
It's a good game.
It is a good game. That's another one.
There we go.
Anyway, you're not here for 3 recommendations. What's your one?
My recommendation is the movie This Is England, because I watched it yesterday. Because you know I've been watching The Crown recently.
Yes.
Okay. Been watching
The
Crown.
A big England kick, are you?
No, it's not that. It's that I now finished The Crown, and I'm now looking for a new drama series to get my teeth sunk into. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to like This Is England, and I don't think I ever watched the last season, This Is England 90. So I'm like, I'll watch all of This Is England. I'll go through that. It's a good show. I'll go through it. But it obviously starts off with the movie, just This Is England. So I went on 4. It's not on 4. All the series are on Channel 4, the app, but for some reason the movie's not, so I had to rent it off Amazon. So I did that. I rented it for 99 pence off Amazon. Absolute bargain.
I smell a fucking irritating licensing contract.
Yes, me too. But such a good movie. Like really fucking good. And I think I might want to do like maybe the movie in the series at some point on this podcast, because it is very good and something that's like difficult to watch at times. And like Hairspray has something important to say. Like especially about
Joe Gilgun, right? Is Joe Gilgun in it? The big tall guy from Misfits who took over the other funny guy from Misfits.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Very good. Like, why is a goat in the community centre?
Don't. You can't do it. So don't. It's a very specific. You have it in your head that every northern accent is the same, and what you do is a very broad. Like me and my father went down pits, and we worked a 72-hour shift, and it's not. You're doing like a very broad sort of like Doncaster sort of thing.
Is it like how Benedict Cumberbatch does an American accent? It's like,
kind of.
I'm from America.
I'm from America. Yes.
Yeah.
Where in America? The United States of America. Just a good movie. Some choices which are quite odd. Like having a 12-year-old boy fully make out with like an 18-year-old girl at one point.
Oh.
Yeah. But all around, very good movie. With some very good performances.
Well, there you go. You've been told. Yeah. Go and watch it. Go and play House Flipper, and have a good time. And you can click right here to get Stuckmanized.
No, you can't. And we might be doing. I might see if I can put it on the schedule for sometime next year.
I would be down.
The whole This Is England.
So would you say that you're not recommending it to me yet?
No, I'm not recommending it to you yet. Okay. To everyone else, yes, but to you, hang fire.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Fine. Right. Well, that's been a wicked time, and next week we're going to have another wicked time when we're talking about this.
Well, if this is it, old boy, I hope you don't mind if I go out speaking to kings.
By all means, Captain.
Say auf Wiedersehen to your Nazi boss.
Wahoo, fantastic. Again, it's not Mario. That's just something I've started doing.
It's Mario.
Yeah, I don't know why. One day we'll do Mario, and then I'll actually be able to do a Wahoo. But maybe that day, maybe I won't, just to really fuck with people.
I flat out refuse to ever do Mario on this podcast.
Have you seen it?
No.
It's a good movie. It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine, but
Yeah.
I flat out refuse. I still haven't seen Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's...
I can watch it. Like, it's available. I can watch it. But then I'm thinking, spoiler alert, little sizzle at the end of the pod here, we've got Indiana Jones planned for next year.
Yeah, I'd
Next
wait maybe.
June, we are going to go through all the Indiana Jones movies, so I might just wait.
I would wait, yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun. Listen, if you also are stuck watching Indiana Jones 5 repeatedly, you can give us a little follow on Twitter at
What's
Another
that?
Happy Pod.
What is this need you have to like link everything together? Like you can just say it. Like you don't need to try and make some funny joke which doesn't work at all to link back into what we're talking about.
It's true. And speaking of Link, this has been our Hairspray episode where a character called Link exists.
Little thing after we finished. I just like the moments where they're just relentlessly spraying hairspray. Just like whole cans worth of just spraying their hair and stuff. Just not worrying about global warming at all.
I like that they occasionally swap cans. I'm like, was his different?
Yeah.
Did his have like, I don't know, something else in it?
It's good stuff.
Yeah, give us a little follow. We're on Twitter at Another Happy Pod. That's where you'll get a little post to remind you that new episodes of this show go out every single Friday at 10 a.m. We're going to have a wicked time. And you can give the show a little review as well. If you've enjoyed it, a 5-star review wouldn't go amiss on your podcast platform of choice. Would be much appreciated. And whilst you're out here appreciating things, Nathan will appreciate me passing the mic off to him as he tells you about our other podcast.
Our other podcast is called Still Got Legs. It's all about Docky Who. That's Doctor Who, for those who don't know. We're currently making our way through the revival era. We're up to Series 3, coming towards the end of that now, funnily enough, in the last few episodes, the last 4 or so in the next few weeks. So, yeah, it's a great time. It's a fun time. It's a Doctor Who time. Have a listen. Join us. Have some fun.
Indeed. Click right here to get Stugmanized. Please play the theme song.
No, not until you redo that.
I apologise. Everyone stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't forget to fend off racists.